Solar Driver here, coming at you with Rage Gaming. For anyone who doesn't know, the new Destiny 2 DLC released on May 8th. I wanted to post a video earlier for Warmind, but I've been busy playing through all the content. There are tons of new things to discover and play, but there are some things that need to be discussed about the DLC and about the future. On May 8th, I played through the story with Blue and Crimson. Basically, you help Anna defend off enemies, trying to destroy Rasputin, while Zavala stands in the background. There is a relic called the Valkyrie that Rasputin summons to help you on certain parts of the story. There are several yellow bar enemies to defeat, as well as a mini-boss being Nakaris, and the final boss being Zol. The story for me personally was very short and didn't go in depth enough. Nakaris and Zol become two new strikes in the strike playlist, but at the moment are glitched for some players, sending them to regular strikes instead of heroic. After 2 hours of doing the story, I started step 1 out of 5 of Anna Bray weapons. The first one was a hand cannon. I don't have the gameplay for this quest because I thought it was still in the story. But they have 5 weapons and you can only do 1 weapon per week, which I personally feel like this is just Bungie's way of trying to stop people from blowing through the content. Which it does not sacrifice the point that suffice the point that there's still not enough content to be played. So for the quest for the hand cannon, you had to do 5 heroic strikes, which is where the strike glitch became a problem. Bungie made the heroic strikes harder by adding modifiers. Some only slightly increase the difficulty, while others, like fatal melee kill for enemies, makes many strikes near impossible. I do like the changes for strikes, but this also makes me a little disappointed because I personally feel like the difficulty should be regular strikes being the weakest, then heroic strikes, then the normal nightfall, and then the prestige. I do like that the nightfall is easy, but it still should be harder than heroic strikes. So after the heroic strikes, we had to collect 15 sleeper notes and 3 levels of escalation protocol. After several attempts, me, Crimson, and Blue were, with one other open world player, were able to complete the escalation protocol. You don't have to complete all 3 levels at once. We did 3 levels of the first level on the glacial drift with the ogre. One tip I give you is to wait for the other players to start it and then start it, or you can start it with a lot of players in the area. There is also a surrounding problem of only being able to allow 3 for your fire team. A shout out to my friend Grilla who told me about this. He said to message other players in your area and use their fire team spaces to bring in more of your own players. But the big thing Guardians experienced last week was a 345 power wall, which made it hard to escalation protocol, because you couldn't get past the 345. Bungie plans to quick fix this, but for me that power wall is in the past as I climb in the light level. But for the sleeper nodes, there are 40 total, and you'll need to collect 15 without duplicates for the hand cannon. You get the keys for them by collecting 4 coded chips that drop out of public events, which is 2 for heroics. 4 chips combine to make a key which will open a node. Each key is specific to the node. They have clues on the keys in the inventory, as well as play music when you're close, glow orange, and create a fuzzy circle on your view when close. If you're still having a hard time, I highly suggest you try YouTube, where a lot of people have done short clips to show you where all the nodes are. The loot from these nodes is nothing special, and all 40 collected gives you an emblem. Another thing that got added were data fragments. These are little chips in various colors. The colors tell you which element, if any, to use to break the chips. 35 chips will give you access to a vault in a lost sector that will give you the exotic sword, and all 45 will give you access to the vault under the Warsat for the exotic sparrow. For other things on Mars, there is the Warsat public event, which spawns in 2 spots, and there's also 1 witch ritual public event in the rig. There are also adventures which will need to be completed for the second weapon on the second week. I may upload videos later on this quest. With Anna, you can get new gear. She's pretty much like every other planetary vendor. At the tower, Tess has new emotes, shaders, and other such things. Vendors have new things with challenges and rankings to get them. Currently, Strike and Crucible boons are not showing up for some people. For Crucible, there is a private matches, doubles, as well as other new Mars maps, new ranking system for Crucible as well. Currently, Hathor is glitched and new engrams don't scale to your light level. Bungie tweeted to leave the engrams until reset, and upon reset they will automatically decrypt and scale to your light level.
Follow it and see where it leads.
At this week at Bungie for May 29th update, Hero Strikes will have a 100% drop for key fragments for the chest for Escalation Protocol. Every 3 to 5 strikes will drop a 360 power legendary, which for me personally may not help me because of the fact that I'm most likely going to be either pretty close to 360 or above 360, which is supposed to get you to 365 with the mods on it. This will work for some, but in like 2 weeks I will be like above 360, so it's definitely not going to help everybody. Exotic Masterworks were released for which each gives you an answer or a clue to how to get the catalyst. Like, some are very straight out about it, like the colony says to do Crucible, whereas some other ones say your acts of heroism but don't give you a specific of what that is. And it basically gives you like kind of like Legends Arceus. It's a mini quest that tells you how to get the full Masterworks for it. For Crucible, people had concerns about people having like playing against people who have higher light glory, or not glory, light glory, higher glory rank, which Bungie like confirmed with everyone that you are definitely matched by your skill and not by the amount of points in glory. All that means is that person played Crucible more than you, but does not mean that they are a better player than you. And some people are also concerned about the fact that they're getting matched against preset fire teams. Bungie said that will find a solution for this, but at the moment they don't want to split nothing. Like, people want a separate solo queue for people, and Bungie basically said it's going to be an unhealthy way of splitting it, because then it's going to leave fire teams to be matched only with fire teams regardless of skill, because of the fact there isn't a lot of people playing as a fire team. And there's also an issue that people are having where if you got put into a pre-started match in glory, or not in glory, in the quick play, if you were to lose, you would lose your win streak. Bungie says they are trying to find a fix for this, but if you're in competitive, there are no join-ins, so you cannot lose your kill streak if you were winning. Or not your kill streak, your winning streak if you were winning. On Tuesday, May 22nd to May 29th, the Iron Banner will be returning with Control. Lord Saladin will also have a rank reputation system similar to Zavala. There are also new ornaments with challenges to unlock. They are also working on the companion app, which was glitched for some, stating they had no characters, which just happened for me personally. Bungie tweeted to sign in to all your characters for a quick fix for some. All are for the future. All the rest of the stuff that was on this week at Bungie was for future stuff of what they're going to do this summer and what they're going to do with the app and what they're going to add in and everything. So I'll probably cover that in a separate video. I'm mostly concerned about what's going to be happening this month and happening now. But other than that, that's all I have to talk about. See you later.